seem they are staying to the same sides. No change from that part.
Okay, so no change from blue to red. And let's see if anything changes in terms of the draft. We got Lucian straight out of there first, so already doing the exact same thing as before, and we're going to see the same thing from Team Chinese Taipei too. Vi banned out right away.
All right, Yumi, is that going to be the ban? We getting the run back, the salty run back here. Even if YSKM is in, we're getting the salty run back. Every champion exactly the same.
Exactly the same, except with a different name in the top lane for Team Hong Kong China.
All right, we're 3 for 3.
Take a screenshot.
Nico next. Nico. I feel like that's going to be the one here for Chinese Taipei.
I think it was Emilio last time.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. No, it was Emilio, then it was Nico on the blue side.
Yeah.
Then who was it? The last one. Rakan. That's who it was.
Yeah.
Yep, Emilio.
Yep.
All right, there we go.
Perfectly. May as well just say the same things we did last time. So why don't you like Yumi?
Yeah, you know, Yumi cat on a book especially. Like, what kind of cat do you want on your book? It's going to rip apart the book. Have you not seen how cats are?
I have. I've been attacked by cats many times.
Yeah, like, I don't mind cats. Cats are cute. But on a book, it's like, especially if it's a book you want to read, they're going to rip out the pages.
Ooh, we have a change-up. The pages have turned, and we've got Maokai getting taken away by Team Hong Kong China. Now, Nico, from the respect band on the red side, and let's see where we're going for Team Hong Kong China to get first pick here on the blue side.
Even though the ban has changed for them, not banning away that Nico, meaning Rakan is available for Kaiwing, I still expect Kasante to be first pick. I think that champion is really good into almost anything. Doesn't really matter if you try to counterpick him. He's still going to have a marvelous time, but they decide, they're like, you know what, no Maokai to deal with. Wukong.
Going for the Wukong. Hard engage, not trying to play around with the Sedge, which Kenny Chan might not have really wanted to play. You know, he did relatively well in the early game, but once he couldn't dish out anywhere near as much damage, he was just kind of a utility bot, and MM couldn't do the damage, then look, things went south. So hoping for a better start here on the Kong, and then over on the other side, we are going to see Kasante picked up by Aj.
And this is where I expect either Aphelios or Sejuani here for Chinese Taipei. They can Aphelios actually makes more sense because you don't need to grab that Sejuani. You know Wukong's going jungle. Very unlikely that you'll have the flexibility between Wukong. I have seen a couple players over in NA actually play Wukong top lane, but it's very far and few in between.
Yeah, it sounds like a big grasp for that one to be happening. But look, it used to be a thing. Maybe they can flex it. Maybe they can hit us with some kind of surprise. But we are, of course, going to see the Aphelios again picked up by Team Chinese Taipei.
Ooh, and with that Rakan. All right. There is a new game plan here for Team Hong Kong China. Okay. It is about fighting, and it is about always going in.
Yeah.
There's no plan B. You fall behind, you fall behind. You are looking for early fights right away, utilizing Kenny Chan and Kaiwing. They're going to be your initiators. If Kaiwing makes a call, everyone has to follow up.
Yeah.
You don't go, oh, I don't know. It's like, he's got it. It's too late.
It's the all-in. It's the all-in, and you love to see it. The only person, look, Med, going for the lock-in of the Xayah. Keen to see how that one works, considering if we are going to be going forward for Team Hong Kong China, Xayah operates by going backwards.
But it works. It works in this composition.
It still works?
Because now it's almost like what I consider like the submarine composition with one person that acts as the buoy.
Okay.
They're the one getting all the attention. You're noticing that, but you forget what's under the water.
Yep.
It's all dive, dive, dive here, and you all focus on Xayah, and she just goes up in the air and does nothing for a little bit because nobody can touch her.
Okay. Now we got a decent bit of heavy AD. Are we going to see some AP in the mid lane? It's going down. Over on the other side, however, there is that Sedge lock-in. Now back to the bans. Lulu. Well, Annie rather, sorry, taken out of there.
Screams at Ari here for Maple. Okay. I see that Annie ban, Nico ban as well. Ari really is kind of like screaming its name to me that Maple wants to play that, even though I like Silas here, especially because whenever I see Sejuani, I like having the double melee of mid-top because you can utilize that passive to its fullest. But Ari is such a good pick into so many compositions, especially into something that wants to dive into you. A good charm completely disrupts the game plan from Team Hong Kong China.
Now, We are going to see that Lulu ban come through, and there won't be any Ahri in the mid lane.
Okay, I'm surprised they are the ones that ban it. I'm like, to me, this composition kind of screams that they want to go for that. But then again, they can hold on to the last pick for Maple, try to get the counter pick there, since they haven't locked in their support yet.
True, true. So Team Chinese Taipei just focusing on Med rather, making sure that he can't get any of the mid laners that he might prefer there. All three of those AP ones gone as well, and no Azir will be picked up by Maple. So where do we go in the mid lane? There's not much left for the meta, right? Well, Silas is open. How's that going for you?
Yeah, but with Malphite still being available, now I talked about the dive composition of Team Hong Kong China. You don't want to lock in Silas here. So you hold off on that, say, all right, we can't lock this in. We don't know how that's going to go, but Renata Gloss is perfect into dive composition. Completely denies that.
Just hit R, you've got the perfect counter engage. Everyone that just jumped on you hit each other instead. So, what is going to be the answer coming through for Team Hong Kong China?
Silas. They're the ones who should lock in Silas here.
Okay.
I think that I steal that away. They go for Syndra. Syndra is not bad, though. Syndra is really good because it also has good tools of picking off someone. Renata Gloss is very susceptible. If she gets hit by a Scatter of the Week, well, you're not going to be able to get that off because you're going to die before you can have hostile takeover even be useful.
Well, let's see how Syndra operates. Of course, little control mage there. And what is going to be the final pick?
Sion.
You reckon Sion?
Oh, Jax.
Oh, for the damage.
Okay,
Maybe playing long game split push.
I mean, there's a lot of options they have, and the thing I like about having Jax on your team too is he really does work at team fights as well. Okay. People kind of forget about that. His Counter-Strike is a very useful tool as well. He's a great flanker. One thing that Renata Gloss is great at is a front-to-back team composition. She's not good at dealing with people on the side who are jumping out of nowhere.
Okay. And that's probably why we're going to see Jax locked in. And then, of course, over on the other side, it is going to be the Gragas, which is going top. Interesting how this one plays out. Now, do you think that Team Chinese Taipei's bot lane is going to be as potent as it was before?
I don't think so, honestly. Rakan Zaya, the Lovers Duo bot lane, is a very strong bot lane that is difficult to deal with early into the game. Plus, if you ever miss one of your handshakes as Woody, Codwing's immediately going to look to punish you for that. Always try to dive in with the Grand Entrance, get the knockup, maybe even look for a level 2 dive here or level 2 gank from Team Hong Kong China. Utilize Wukong right out of the gates and get either summoners off of Wako and Woody or just get kills.
So how does Maple operate the Cassante going into a Syndra? Because that's a control mage. You can sit back and just have a way with you. Are you just too tanky that you can just kind of run up anyway?
Yeah, you're just too tanky. You're able to deal with all that. That's how the Cassante matchup kind of works mid lane. He's really strong. It's kind of like what we used to see with Nautilus mid, where Nautilus, he just gets the free shields. It's really hard to deal with. In fact, we're starting to see that come back. Nautilus mid is slowly working his way back into the meta, and it really fits the same role at how Cassante plays that lane. Med can still punish that because you are going to be able to outrange him at every stage, but Maple should be able to wave clear effectively, not really worry too much, and really want to play around other lanes and try to go wherever Junjia is playing.
Well, look, I'm going to keep my eyes on Woody and see how he operates on Renata Gloss, because him on the disengage, the counter engage rather, has been really, really solid. You know, game number 1, of course, playing the Braum, knew exactly when to hit all those abilities at the exact right moments, and then you got to think about the coordination as well. Look, there is a decent amount of CC coming through. Look, Junja, you said to keep an eye out for him, but him with Azure as well, able to throw maybe a couple of casks in there, could definitely get big damage done.
Lots of disruption tools here for Team Chinese Taipei.
Lots of AP.
Lots of AP that you can utilize, something that we don't see too often. We're so used to seeing a lot of the AD. While Team Hong Kong China, sorry, see the duck kept quacked. But Team Hong Kong China, I like their composition. Good front to back. They got good flankers on their side as well. This composition is looking to rumble, and even if they fall behind, there's no plan B. I told you that, Mac. There's one plan, and it is simple. You follow the Rakan every single time.
We'll see how YSKM sits in this one. Of course, he's a little bit slow out of base. I think he might have been playing a silly game somewhere. Either way, it is going to be the red side start for Kenny Chan. and Junja looking to start from top and path back to bot. So
I am a little surprised by that. Unless
early
Kenny,
gank?
yeah, that's what to me this kind of screams is that Kenny Chan is going to look for an early gank in the bot lane.
Okay. Ooh, hey, YSKM is walking into 3. Aja here. What is going on? Here's that shenanigans that you're looking for.
I've never seen a solo shenaniganeries, though. Usually it's a whole team.
He was just allowed to walk away.
That's impressive.
That is, they just respected
Some
him.
cojones there from YSKM.
I guess Jax wins level 1 if he can just hit you and hit you and hit you and build up his passive, then all of a sudden he's just doing damage.
Yeah, he gets out of there for free, gets into this lane. It isn't going to be the easiest lane. The Gragas into Jax lane is kind of a handshake lane where they should both be able to clear out. However, it's more on Aja on how you play the Gragas than it is on the Jax, because you cannot burn your belly flop at any moment. You have to hold on to that until you see a leap strike in onto you. Then you use that so you can easily walk away, because otherwise you're going to get jumped on from the counter-strike every time and get stunned and take about half your health.
Okay. Here's that handshake going down. I'm having a quick look at the items. Of course, MM just going to be going with that long sword down bot again. And Cull for Waco, who have pinged level 2 real early here and try to force the fight again. Look, Woody and Waco, they were so good at poking out this lane down bot up against Team Hong Kong China in game 1 of the series. And it looks like they're already off to a great start again. There's that level 2 for Team Hong Kong China in the bot lane. And already they're just working at these plates. You got to remember this was the first tower that fell in game 1, and Waco got 4 plates, 5 plates shared among a couple of individuals.
I think it was 3 plates solo for Waco, and then 2 more shared amongst 4 people. So that's a lot of gold that was picked up early for Nephelios.
So much going on there. And again, YSKM just playing a dangerous game, but he of course can just leap away.
It's a dangerous game, but at the same time not, because with his solo shenaniganeries into the jungle of Junjia, he knew that Sejuani was starting topside. He spotted out that was going to be the path. So now he's like, hey, Sejuani is not going to path here. I have the freest lane to bully you at every point if I can, and I might as well take the fullest advantage I can.
And it looks like maybe we've gone bottom to top path for Kenny Chan because he wanted to get a scuttle crab this time. Gets that ward off too. Won't be spotted on any vision. And we'll see if he's going to be able to get the back off. Should be able to. Before Junja spots him. There it is. So now he's going to have a full read on Junja's position here as he goes back to the Raptors for the second take.
Yeah, but Junja going to be spotted out on that, giving a lot of information for Team Hong Kong China. Again, giving more advantage and more information for YSKM in this top lane, where he's like, now he can really continue to bully this top lane. Say, I know every point of where you are, but missing that counter-strike is huge. I talked about this is a handshake, but it's all about the belly flop versus counter-strike. That's really what makes it the handshake.
Again, just poking out. Kenny Chan looking for an angle. He's down here real early. Is closing that gap. Force that flash out. And that's a small victory.
Small victory, getting a flash. Something you can attack a little bit later as well. That's what I talked about, why I wanted to see the Wukong down there early.
Yeah.
You're looking to constantly play around that recon as Wukong. But of course, you want to get to level 6 because that makes that combination even that much more deadly, having the Cyclone alongside of the Grand Entrance.
You're going to see Maple have those cookies as well, just munch on to try and squeeze out as much mana as possible. Where he gets this back off. Let's see what he's going to be able to buy. A little bit of a whack-a-mole in the top lane. You hit me, I'll hit you back. Handshakes all around. And we're going to see Junja start to rotate down bot. 3v2 here. You can see that Kenny Chan's a little bit too far away, but he's on an exploration instead. Spot the Scryers, but we'll spot that there is no Raptors there, but won't actually see Kenny Chan.
No, but with the TP back from Med in the mid lane, I'll be curious to see if there's actually a contest here from Team Hong Kong China onto this Dragon. Doesn't seem like, they don't have the advantage. MM is already looking for a recall as well.
Yeah.
They're just going to forfeit the first Dragon.
So Infernal Drake in the bag, bit of extra damage long term for Team Chinese Taipei. And Junja fully aware He's got full control of that one. He spotted Kenny Chan walking on vision away from the Drake, so not phased at all with the smite up. Gold lead, though, not really favoring either team.
Yeah. I'd be surprised unless something crazy like that last Dragon fight we saw last game. It's really going to be about level 6s. That's when we're going to start seeing the crazy chaos from both teams. That's when they're going to utilize that. You have that non-committal engage from Junjia. You have the full dive of Team Hong Kong China. And then you also have the disengage of Woody on the other side. So it's all about making sure they have those cooldowns to play around.
YSKM playing around the cooldown of the plant as well, just to have some extra sustain in lane so he doesn't have to back too early. Of course, both of them use that TP to get themselves that free recall super early on. Looks like YSKM is happy with the lane state, so he's just going to reset again. Is that Sheen online? And over towards mid. Maple's taking a little bit of damage, but it's just going to be this slow affair. Over towards bot, though. Pushed up. Wacko and Woody just trying to get that poke off again. Very close to popping 6. Maple and Meds, both with their ults online. We are going to see Maple maybe fake a rotate, but he has walked across on vision.
Okay, I know you're saying some smart stuff, but when you said Wacko, it made me think of, there used to be a player named Mole. Mole.
Yep.
That played.
Mole.
Yeah. And he played for Team WE. So immediately I'm like, Whack-a-mole.
We'll see if he plays that later when he tries to whack around Team Hong Kong China. Wing trying to clear out the control ward. Will win the vision game as he does have Kenny Chan not too far away. So respect shown by Team Chinese Taipei. And it looks like he's going to be Herald attempted and probably taken by Junjia here, because you can see that Kenny Chan was spotted and he's probably too far away to rotate over there in time.
Oh, they don't know he's this far. They have no idea. Look at this. I love this look.
Going for it. Thinking about it. Waco just going to be trying to make this happen. Woody not quite level 6. Kenny Chan just taking a lot of damage from that turret. Will be able to just walk away. Oh, that was a very, very precarious position.
They also kind of, I think they realized too, the mistake. But right now, a flash away. Unfortunately, not able to get out. First blood picked up by Maple mid lane.
Investing that ult and a beautiful gank coming through from Junjia just to slow down Med. And Med is dead. So, first blood, extra money in the bank.
That's
there.
Dead, but maybe Aju almost died there too. Had to use the explosive cast just to get away from the Grandmaster's by top lane.
Let's see how this one's played. He's still hanging around. And, oh, okay, Kenny Chan going to be able to find Junjia walking into the tri-bush, but will be able to have the movement just to dash across the wall.
But burn flash forward, and that's a big cooldown utilized and gone now for Junjia. Also, because the mid lane played where they got the solo, well, not solo kill, it's essentially solo kill because Maple did most of the work. They had used the ult there from Sejuani, so they don't have that tool. They again, this game is really about playing around the cooldowns and utilizing that. Kawing now has level 6, but they don't have ultimate from Junjia or from Kenny Chan. So you're not going to have that backup. And then as Team Hong Kong China really need to have both the Cyclone and the quickness there for themselves if they want to make these plays work, they have to just wait out the cooldown timer.
All ults there in bot lane. If anything, there is that ult advantage for Team Hong Kong China to play around, but here is that gank again. Maple almost doing it all himself, but a great ult coming through from Sedge.
That was a prediction, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, not just a prediction. What I love about that play from Junjia that I didn't really call out was use the Arctic Assault forward, where he was, and then threw the ult where he thought he could go. Because no matter what, he's going to land something. Something will land. And so it is, no matter what, you're doomed either way.
Covering all bases and hits a home run off the back of it. But they're not quite home just yet. There is now going to be 1,000 gold gap favoring Team Chinese Taipei. Happily just, again, play the slow macro game. They are setting up for the Kempton Drake over towards the pit. See if Kaiwing's going to be able to clear out the vision. There's no one here in the brush he's sitting in. But Woody will be able to drop that vision. Kaiwing's already used the trinket, so opts to use the control ward instead. But that will allow Team Chinese Taipei to know.
Kaiwing.
Oh no, he's getting a little bit too frisky with it. Of course, does have the numbers here, so should be able to survive, which he will. And Team Chinese Taipei won't be able to get the Drake for free, even though they've got so much vision here.
Okay, YSKM did TP into the top lane. Aju has his TP up, so that is why Chinese Taipei are looking to play around this dragon, knowing they can always drag in their top lane.
That TP is going to be invested. Kai Wing hanging around, just being an absolute nuisance. Kenny Chan, though, too far away. He's not even contesting the Drake, and it's just pressure that Kai Wing's using. At least keeps him away from MM, and we'll have that information on those individuals' position. But are we going to see a plate taken off the back of it? He's going to risk it, and it looks like the biscuit's going to be eaten. Solo, too. Yeah,
exactly. You're going to enjoy that biscuit with a little bit of butter on top of that. Maybe some honey, too.
Bit of chalky.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
Cover it up. Beautiful. Well, 12 minutes in. Getting real close to those plates disappearing. And this time, the bot lane, as you thought, has played out completely differently.
That no TP, no TP, no flash either. Oh, nice sidestep there.
He got the moves!
Dragged in by the all out, but maybe he's got the moves because Kenny Chan's there. No!
Oh,
Maple!
Absolute robbery. Maple just able to soak up way too much damage when he's got gamer mode going. My lord, that was a good attempt that Med again just going to get essentially taken out, untraded.
Ooh. That is a heartbreak there for Team Hong Kong China as well. Oh, and same with that right there. Kai Wing again trading the flash, getting that off of Wacko.
Investing the ult though. So won't have that for a little while now, and it looks like we are just going to watch this one back. The Arkle replay. Junja going to be able to lock Med down, and there was big damage coming through. You can see, of course, they were trying to juggle that kill with Maple, but he just goes in, hooks him out. Look at how little health he's got.
The Triumph stack to heal him up. That is a heartbreak for Med. You're like, we should have got him. I had him. I thought we got him.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, having a quick look at the items before. Azure again, just going to be able to save himself. But yeah, Mythic going to be picked up by Maple. No Mythics for anyone else just yet, but of course, MM, it's going pretty well for him. He's got a little CS gap, and he's got the Kraken Slayer.
YSKM's got himself the Divine Sundara top lane.
He does too. He does too, sorry.
Same with Kenny Chan getting his as well. Now we're starting to see a lot of those items picked up. But the bigger thing is that YSKM actually having a favorable trade there against Aju.
Yeah.
He didn't burn his ult. Well, it was the ult burned by Gragas. So he not only gets to stay in lane, but got another plate while bot lane. MM gets a plate for this plate as well, since they were the last ones to reset on the map. So they have a lot of gold that they've actually gotten for themselves.
Well, looks like we are going to see an attempt at a gank on a Maple, who's real damn fast, and he's got some reinforcements coming, so no chance of a turnaround. Team Hong Kong China will be able to escape away, try to win the vision game. You can see Renata not too far away. Woody, he's thinking about it, but he's just going to keep hanging around Waco, making sure that one of their win conditions is going to be safe and sound in the top lane. And Junja going to start to try to hit Kai Wing here. Will escape away, jump over to Meds, keep himself alive, and now they've got that river control. They've got vision control as well, so it's Herald time.
And this is when Team Chinese Taipei feel the strongest. Their tanks have gotten themselves their first items picked up. They're very difficult to cut through. We already saw that before with how difficult it was to get a lot of damage on a Maple until he went all out. And having Junja as well as standing in front of him, this is going to be on Hong Kong China to find the play in the backline, find someone out who's squishy.
They are going to be able to zone him away. Oh, you get that ping on the eye. You've also got that smite on one. Maybe it could happen, but the Cyclone too good. They're going to look at the team fight. Herald, unnecessary. But are they going to be able to do enough? Those red health bars, they're so damn tanky. Maple takes him out. Kenny Chan going to be able to orb himself away. Blast Coney to safety. Junja going to be able to connect again and slow them all down.
Alive?
I don't know. Magical. I don't know how they're alive. But MM is going to be the first to fall after all that, and maybe the only one. Oh no, we've got Kenny Chan going out as well. That was a magical moment, and Team Chinese Taipei are able just to regroup, recoup themselves, and turn around the attempt at the fight.
And they do capitalize by getting those 2 kills. I thought for a second that everyone was going to live after all of that. It was an initial great engage too from Hong Kong China, but unfortunately they just don't have the damage to cut through these tanky members on Chinese Taipei.
Whoa. Even with the Divine Sunderers, they just can't chunk down those big tanky boys from Team Chinese Taipei. let's look at that one again, huh? Because it went for a while.
It did, and like I said, it initially starts great. I love what YSKM does, too, to zone off Wacko on the side, but the bigger problem is he wasn't able to burst him down quickly enough, which meant that all Chinese Taipei had to do was reset. They focused their control, they got back in the fight, they made sure that YSKM was soloed out and had to flash back towards the rest of the team. Then Maple, since he had gone all out before to get Kenny Chan out of there, was able to regroup with the team, say, hey, we can utilize my lead to pick up these 2 kills, gain control over the river, and to get the Rift Herald after we pick up those 2 kills.
Just so much going on there. And again, third Drake spawned. Let's see if the Cloud Soul is going to be taken by Team Chinese Taipei, or if they don't even need it. But this time, look, we are seeing some of these towers going down in favor of Team Hong Kong China. So that is a decent little bit of gold. Bounty, of course, as well for them to play around. YSKM happily going to be taking that one, but won't commit for the Tier 2. Doesn't want to get too big for his boots. And you can see now it is going to be traded by a Tier 1 over towards bot. Aja, not in trouble at all. Looking at the mini-map, you can see that Team Hong Kong China trying to focus over towards mid lane, maybe looking for Prio before that Baron spawns.
Honestly, though, for Hong Kong China, getting that tower top lane, getting the bounty gold onto your Jax is going to be a good position to keep yourselves in.
Yeah.
You're not falling too far behind, even though it is 3 dragons to 0. That is going to be the big thing that you're going to have to play around here soon. But they're still in a position where they can play around the Jax in the side lane looking for these flanks. They are going to get more powerful. They've got Leandries completed for Med now. They've got that Kraken Slayer for MM. They can now actually start doing reasonable damage to the tanks.
You also see Treads getting so much value this game for Team Hong Kong China, so that MR going to be extremely crucial into a lot of this damage that is coming out from Team Chinese Taipei, but you've got to also keep your eyes on Waco where he is in the fight, and it looks like we might be finding one. Kai Wing, jump back
Slippery
to
little double.
Yeah. Of course, high mobility means safety is key, but look at this. We've got the Herald being the 5th member to try and chunk away at the Tier 2 at top against the blue side, and they are going to be able to fight and keep it alive, just chunking that wave, but not chunking down any of the champs from Team Chinese Taipei.
But it was a good scatter of the week. I think without that connecting onto 3 members, there is a possibility to reset the wave there for Chinese Taipei, set up a dive like we saw in Game 1 that can really continue to accelerate this game for Chinese Taipei, because they are starting to fall off in a lot of their damage sources. We're seeing the power on the other side. Syndra, with how she got changed, no longer just a lane bully. She actually scales incredibly well into games and will start doing reasonable damage to both Junjia and to Maple.
Everything's slowing down again, just waiting for the objectives to be up. Baron joining the party very shortly. And it feels like Team Hong Kong China still have some kind of control in their own jungle, although Vision says otherwise on the top side.
Hey, it's better than last game. It's better at this point, too. They're looking in a far better position. 3,000 gold is a reasonable amount that you can start coming back, especially as you are getting some critical itemization for critical members like Med.
It looks like they're going to think about going on to Maple here. Kenny Chant. Blast coning over.
Kai Wing, though.
Oh, are they going to be able to get...
Body blocked.
Okay. Living.
Okay, that's actually a big alt burn there by Jinjia. It will have a pretty low cooldown now that he's level 11.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that does give windows towards Hong Kong, China that they can play around. And that is what we need to see. They have built a competition to fight. How little have we actually seen them fight?
Yeah, well, they know they're on the back foot. They don't want the game getting too out of hand too early like we did see last game. Now, Kenny Chan just trying to stay out of Danger's way. We'll risk this one to try and hit on Maple, who's going to be able to get the tower, just bullying him away, and that's it. No one able to answer with anything.
Yeah, Demolish proc from Maple takes down the turret. More gold for Team Chinese Taipei.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, too, pretty sure YSKM, he's trying to make this split push happen, but while he's on Vision, that is when Team Chinese Taipei are happy to strike, happy to make those dangerous plays like taking the T2 towers on their own.
And getting that gold that they can now spend, they go back. We are past the 20-minute mark, which means Baron is always going to be a threat there for Hong Kong, China, which is why you're slowly seeing them gain control over Vision on the top half of the map.
Now back towards bot. It's being pushed in. YSKM happy to farm it up. Get those juicy minions. Smack those cannons and back away. Maybe get another...
Okay. I got a little worried there for a sec.
Hello. Wing. He keeps getting caught, but he's just so easily able to escape.
This is why we saw him, that Wing, his special here with Rakan. This is something that he has loved to play a lot in the PCS, and there's a reason why so many people give praise towards him on how he plays. That's why he got the respect ban in the previous game, purely for what he adds to the rest of the team.
Just an absolute nuisance. Feels like Team Chinese Taipei keep catching him, but then he just jumps away. Now, looks like Junja drop that control ward, make sure there's no flank angle here as they are going to try to initiate on mid. MM just going to be chunking out some damage, throwing out those feathers. Won't be able to get a root off as he will recall him.
Only on that one item right now, still for MM. Hasn't been able to complete the second item, so does no damage to Junja.
Oh, Wacko. He knows that he has some friends behind him. And in the meanwhile, Maple now just pressuring the tier 3, pressuring the base. And in the meanwhile, they're just trying to bait out this fight, trying to keep Team Hong Kong China completely interested in mid lane.
That's big. They got the Feather Storm out of MM right there.
Yeah.
And we only now the dragon has spawned. That's the TP. They're making the call. They want this dragon soul.
Yep, soul point. Coming in, Maple going to be able to rejoin the troops there. And just looking for mid prio before they commit to it. Oh, that is going to be a couple of the members all grouped up there on the blue side. Won't quite get fully chunked down. They still have half health to play around. MM knows that he's that damage source. He has to hang around now. And Team Chinese Taipei, they're just going to zone him as far away as possible and keep pressuring this mid T2. Look at top lane. Again, it's just this handshake.
It's all you can do as Jax. You're trying to push back the wave. You are all set up about that side lane. And then you're like, Gragas, can you leave, please? Can you stop clearing up the wave so quickly? Because he can't do anything. Now he's got no position to look for a flank. And with the fact that MM had to back, that means they forfeit a Cloud Soul over to Chinese Taipei.
And that's not too good because there's a couple of melee members that want to get right up in your grills, and they're going to be able to do so with a bit of extra movement speed now. Mate, this is not looking too good for Team Hong Kong China. They just did that on Vision as well.
They did that on Vision, but there is one thing for Team Hong Kong China, right?
Yep.
Elder Dragon. That's the big risk you take with taking the soul so early into the game, especially when you don't have that massive of a lead over your opponent. If this game gets dragged out for another 5.5 minutes, Hong Kong China have something to play around. They can always risk it for the biscuit at Elder Soul.
The good old burger flip, huh?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes, you know, the game, it's not working your way. You're not able to find the fight. So you force things out, Elder Dragon, say, hey, either you take it or we take it. You're going to have to go for the 50-50 or go look for a fight like this.
Oh, have they caught him out with the info that is displayed to him? Looks like they want to take it.
Oh,
it's going to be a 4-on-4.
Oh, no.
MM's going to be fully caught out. Will get the root, but won't get enough damage to take down Maple with him.
So close.
Oh, Kai Wing, he's just trying to keep Junji at bay, but now with the 4v5, you can see that Team Chinese Taipei, they are thinking about refocusing with the numbers advantage.
Yeah, I mean, Maple living again, barely.
Yeah.
They're limping away, but getting the kill on MM because, as we called out before, that Featherstorm had been burned. He was an easy target. When you're not with the rest of the team and you're not willing to burn Flash just to get back to your team, that means they're going to focus you, and that gives them ample opportunity to start up Baron.
In comes the attempt at Baza. MM out for another 5 seconds, and it looks like Team Hong Kong China, I don't know if they're going to be able to contest this.
It's 50%. It's going too low. Kenny Chan's got to flash in. Look at Maple's positioning, too.
And they don't have the vision on it. They'll see it just now. In comes the TP, but it's too late. The smite is there. The buff is on him.
The damage, too.
Oh, and they're just chunking him away. Let's see if YSKM is going to be able to get involved, but it looks like he's just going to run the opposite direction. Kai Wing trying to survive, and Med now, he will go down as the sacrificial lamb to try and allow everyone else to survive, but they still might not. CC coming through from Aja is enough to get another, and MM now could be in trouble as well. Burns the flash to try to get to safety, but he's so squishy. I don't think he's getting anything out of this one. Oh, what have we got? 30 seconds, 40 seconds on
damn.
the
How can you be a sacrificial lamb when the rest of your team is burned to the pyre as well?
They were going to get to safety, and this could be game. Can they finish in 12 seconds?
They can finish in 12 seconds. That is game here. That is Chinese Taipei taking down Team Hong Kong China 2-0. Game 1 was dominant. Game 2 was dominant. This team is looking like they are going to be another one that we have to look at as being a potential favorite, even though there is that last little bit of a fight that came in from Kenny Chan at the Nexus.
It felt